Let me start the recording on this. I just wanted to showcase something because I haven't done a video in I don't even know 3-4 months regarding this. I haven't gotten as far as I'd like to. But yeah, World of Mixed Martial Arts 4. I did a video months ago when it came to doing an AniMMA mod, and I haven't completely forgotten about it. I've been slowly working on it. I've been building up the database of people to put in. The database is at like 500, 550, and I'm still not quite close. At this point, I can pretty much just fill it full of females, and I'll have enough. So that might be a thing. I might like put a download or something for it when I actually have all the females that I'm going to put in there at the time. But as far as databases are concerned, I don't know if there's any way to zoom in on this. Fuck it. So yeah, I still have the 94 characters. I've been putting in some, I just have a few broadcast teams right now. Not a lot. Relationships, teams, haven't put in a lot of teams yet. There's ones for certain other ones. Companies. It says 8 right now. I haven't done a whole bunch right now. There's 8. I have probably about like, Jesus, almost 20 or so. It's mostly shown through the logos. That's where I can mostly showcase it, is through the logos that I've actually made, to showcase the ones that I've actually been looking at putting in there. So as far as logos are concerned, ended up making this one for a 4Kids promotion, which is mostly just going to feature, like, I don't know, Pokemon characters. I don't know. There wasn't a lot of... When I made that, like, I realized there wasn't a lot of 4Kids animes besides, like, Pokemon and One Piece, like, maybe Naruto and Yu-Gi-Oh! But as I found out, there's really not a lot of animes that had 4Kids. So, as you know, fun as I figured that would be, I don't know if I'm gonna keep that one around. I don't know. This one, I'm particularly proud of how I managed to get this in Photoshop. This is A1FC, ones with A1 pictures stuff. Hang on one second here. I'm trying to deal with something real quick. Hang on. I tried to make the logos blend in as best as possible. So that was the best that I felt I could do. I wanted to make it kind of blend in with the rest of the logo. So that one's one I'm particularly proud of. The A1FC. Of course, when you see it, when you see these companies, they're basically like either production companies or licensing companies. So it'll be the people in the company, at least starting, will be like people within, like for A1FC, it'll be like shows that A1 Pictures has produced. So it'll be like SAO, Gate, I want to say Clanad After Story might have been an A1. I think that was Kyoto. Actually. But I thought there was something that had to do with Clanad that perhaps... either way, like Valkyria Chronicles, there's a few other ones. Yeah, Clanad is KyoAni. I swear to God I saw something related to Clanad, though, that was A1. I can't remember what it was, though. Adult Swim FC, that was one that I did as well. Ones that are on Adult Swim. As I found out, there's actually a crap load of anime that's been on Adult Swim. A lot of very popular ones. When I first made it, I was like, oh yeah, I remember there was a few anime that would be kind of cool to put on there. No, there's actually a crap load of them that have been on there. Holy shit. Fucking. So that one will be kind of cool as well. Aniplex MMA, made that one as well. Let's see if I can't like zoom in on these a little bit, as you can see them there. Of course, that one's going to be an American promotion. Anything that Aniplex is licensed. Aniplex owns A1. Okay, well, this is the Aniplex of America, so this will be an American promotion. I'm pretty sure Aniplex, yeah, with Aniplex owning A1, like, this will be Aniplex, like, I think it'll be a way for A1 Pictures people to fight in America. Like, it's a different company. To be fair, I could almost probably put A1 as like its own thing and then have them go to America as well. This is the way I kind of did it, though, with A1 being strictly Japan and Aniplex being strictly America, where they could kind of do two different things. This one I'm still a little... I'm still trying to figure it out if I'm actually going to continue to use this one. BMA 3, Bandai Bellator Mixed Martial Arts Association. I just wanted to put a B there because I had BMMAA, and I was like, I need to put something else there. Stuff that Bandai's owned, which isn't a ton. I think most notably, K-On! Is owned by Bandai now. They were made by... that's another thing, is that fucking... like, there's gonna be a few shows that are gonna be all over the place, and I feel like I may have to cut down the amount of companies that you can actually run in this game, because between K-On!, with K-On!, you're gonna have like a Kyoto Animation. You got them owned by Bandai. They were dubbed, so someone bought them out American-wise. I don't know who licensed them in America. Probably a company I've already got on here. I've got to check that out. I don't want to say it was like Funimation, but let me see who. Kyoto Animation, Pony Canyon, Sentai Filmworks. That might be one I'm going to have to put in here, because as I found out, there's actually a lot of Sentai Filmworks. A lot of Sentai Filmworks animes for America. Pony Canyon as well. I think I do have that in here. Brains Base Extreme Combat. These are all really cheesy, I feel, but like, I don't know. There's a lot of ones I couldn't just quite figure out. I tried to do the best I could with some of these. But yeah, Brains Base Extreme Combat. Stuff that's owned by Brains Base. I kind of tried to keep a grungy feel just because some of the stuff that they own, I think like Bakano, Durarara. I'd have to check more Brains Base stuff. They tend to have some darker type stuff. And I replaced their little square with an octagon. So that's kind of what some of the stuff I added here. Just a simple Crunchyroll logo with a extra swoop in it that I cut out that kind of looks like an L. It's supposed to be like CCL, and it kind of looks stupid. But yeah, Crunchyroll Combat League, I think, is what I decided on for the name. So that's stuff that Crunchyroll... Once again, that's going to be another one that... I think that's going to be mostly for animes that haven't been licensed in America. And I think Crunchyroll is going to be good for that stuff. Stuff that perhaps like Hulu or Netflix or Funimation haven't done. This is going to be mostly Sentai Filmworks stuff right there, I think. I don't know if I'm going to keep Crunchyroll or not. I'll figure that out. This one I'm really not sure about keeping, and that's Dengeki Bunko Fighting Climax, which I just basically turned into a promotion. Once again, due to some of the shows that they carried, and some of the light novels that they've done that have turned into shows that are already going to be in like 5 different things, this might be one that ends up getting cut out. Just because between SAO and like the Rail Deck stuff and Toradora, like they're going to be all over the place as it is. This one, what was it? Gainax, I think it's Gainax. Ava Met Global is just what I ended up calling it. And of course you see kind of a cross between the Evangelion logo and the Gurren Lagann logo. Generally when I made, like, especially when I made title belts and when I made logos, I tried to, if it sort of was kind of a dull logo. I tried to like jazz it up or something like that to make it look kind of cool. And I figured for Gynex, their two big ones were Gurren Lagann and Evangelion. I decided to just go with that and kind of change it and make it different. Funimation Fight Federation, which I just have down to F3. Like, I just call it F3. Once again, that's going to be stuff for in America, and that's going to be a lot. That's probably going to be one of the big ones in America as well. I don't want to zoom in too much because then you're going to be able to see some of the you're going to be able to see some of the like shoddy Photoshop work I did on some of these as I edited some of these logos. This was just called Fight, but with 3 eyes. This is what the fuck was it? Fuck. Trigger. This is Triggers. Because of I don't know how much I'm going to be able to put in here, because Trigger hasn't done a bunch, as I found out. Especially ones with a lot of females in it. Like, Inferno Cop didn't really have anything. Ninja Slayer and, like, Kill la Kill. I'd have to find more stuff that they did. I don't know. They're going to be a small promotion, to say the very least. Let me see. Hulu MMA, that's another one I might get rid of, too. Just because a lot of the streaming sites are already going to be streaming stuff that has already been licensed in America by like either Funimation or something like that. So that one might be one that I cut out as well. Idol Fight. This is the only one that isn't using like a company. Like the Idol Fight's the only one that literally isn't using either a production company or a licensing company. This is just a completely different one just for idols. Like, this is like just an off the path type one that's just for like your Love Lives, your AKB 0048, your Idol Masters. They're all in just Idol Fight. And they probably won't be doing a lot of shows, but it'll be like big shows every year. So that's what I got planned for that. Another, like, I think when I figured out, like, what what companies I was going to try to, like, make and do stuff with, I think the more tired I got, the less creative I got. So I just did JC Cage Fighting because, JC Staff, why not? We'll just keep the logo and call it JC Cage Fighting. Why not? I may change that to something slightly more creative because, like, you can tell which ones are the earlier logos and you can tell which ones are the later ones, because there are some of the early ones where it was like, hey, that was kind of creative. That was kind of cool. Then it's like, oh, this is just literally the logo with, like, Jesus Christ Cage Fighting. Yes, absolutely. It's going to be Jesus Christ himself in a... Actually, I gotta check this. Because when you say Jesus Christ, I don't know why I immediately thought of like some decently overpowered like people like in I want to say SAO. Okay, they were Aniplex and A1 Pictures. There was another. What was another JC Staff? There was a JC Staff one that I just recently watched. Was it? I think it was How to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon. That was a JC Staff one. Tasia from yeah. I'm trying to, yeah. Well, I feel like that deserves a slightly like instead of just the JC Staff logo at JC Cage Fighting, I feel like that deserves a slightly more like thought out process as to what to call the company. Hang on 1 second, I'm gonna just drink some water real quick. As it's slowly getting warm on me. This one I'm slightly proud of. KyoAni Combat. obviously, since the, like, I basically just took the Kyoto Animation logo and just, like, Frankensteined a logo using KyoAni Combat. I couldn't find, I usually tend to find fonts when it comes to some of this stuff. Like for Idol Fight, I managed to find a font, an Idolmaster font, or something related to an Idolmaster font. That's why it actually looks kind of cool, because I managed to someone had actually managed to make an Idolmaster font. So that's why it looks kind of cool. Couldn't find one for Kyoto Animation, despite the fact that it seems like a pretty easy alphabet. So I just Frankensteined a thing, and the only issue I really had was the B, which really doesn't look too out of place until you like zoom in and see like some of the stupid work that I did on it, where it's like, oh, you can see where you kind of had to erase it, and then it's like you realize, oh, it's literally just the A upside down with a little extra bit on the end there. So... But at 300 pixels, it should be fine. Shouldn't be too noticeable. Madman Cage Warriors for Australia, I believe, is that. I don't think I've put any European ones in here yet. I have to check. But yeah, that one was one that I made as well. I thought that looked pretty cool. And I wanted promotions other than just America and Japan. So when I found out that there was a licensing company in Australia, that was a pretty decent one. I was like, I'll throw that in there. And there's a couple of UK ones as well that'll be good. This one is, Madoka Gitari Combat League. Mostly because, what was this? Shaft. This is the Shaft promotion. It's mostly because, as far as Shaft is concerned, I used pretty much 3 of their biggest animes that they've created. Like they're more like iconic ones. So Madoka Magica, the Monogatari series, and then as you can see by my interesting craftsmanship, uses the I and the O from the Nisekoi logo. So Madoka Gitari Combat League, as you can tell, one of the early logos I decided on because it's got kind of a clever name. Let me see here. NIS America MMA. Not a lot of thought really went into this, sort of. Like, if you can kind of tell, like, I tried to kind of jazz up the logo a little bit. I couldn't really figure out a way to incorporate the logo in with, like, the name. I couldn't figure out a clever enough name, especially considering there's not a ton of, like, they have a very wide variety of anime, so I couldn't narrow it down to just, like, a couple and, like, okay, that's what I'm going to call it. Like, I'm going to use, like, Madoka Magica and the Monogatari series and make that. Like, Toradora was a big enough one. That's why you might recognize the circles. Well, for anyone who's watching this that might... Is that actually a thing, Monogatari? I kind of want to see this. Did I actually sort of name it after... Oh my god, they actually Monogatari exhibition. That is amazing. I did not. Well, they thought of the same thing already. I'm glad to know that they already kind of know. It's like, well, guess what? We understand what our top 2 animes are, our most iconic ones. So we're going to use that. I feel like I should just move it to Monogatari now. Like, I should just rework that Madoka Gitari into Monogatari, because it sounds a lot better. I literally did not know that existed. I literally did not know Monogatari is what they called their, like, exhibit or whatever. That is amazing. I thought I was doing something kind of clever, and then I found out Shaft got to it before I did. Son of a bitch. It's alright. That'll be fun to figure out how to make that belt, though. I'm kind of interested in making the Madoka Gitari Combat League belt. You know, incorporating some shit from Madoka Magica, incorporating some shit from Monogatari, incorporating some shit from like Nisekoi. Actually, I bet you could probably use that shit as like, you probably use the O from Nisekoi in there as like part of like the flair for like side plates or something. I don't know. I'll figure that out. So yeah, obviously I used the Toradora circles with this, filled them in, put MMA here. I managed to have them arranged in a way that looked kind of cool, and instead of a circle, I managed to cut it into an octagon. So yeah. Pony can fights, once again, not the most like clever of names, but it's something. As I found out, there's not a ton of Pony Canyon. There's not a ton of Pony Canyon animes. Like, the biggest one's obviously Hibike, or shit, whatever it is. And even that's mostly a KyoAni show. Yeah, it was formed this year, yeah. As I found out when I was making this, it's like, oh, Pony Canyon's actually very, very young. Okay, well, it's going to be a lot of... To be fair, that might actually be helpful to have something like Pony Canyon around, because there's going to be stuff like Hibike that... the Euphonium girls, especially when you're dealing with Kyoto Animation, like, you're going to throw the Euphonium girls who, while they're decently popular... they're not as widely iconic as, say, other KyoAni shows. So when you throw like the Euphonium girls, who have yet to really snowball their shit, and you throw them in with the likes of Haruhi Suzumiya and the Clanad girls, you're going to be in for some shit. Like, it's probably good to have something small like this for certain shows where their girls are going to get kind of swallowed up by the more iconic ones, because the Euphonium girls are going to get lost in the shuffle when you're going to be in roughly the same type of company as Haruhi Suzumiya and, you know, sorts of other ones like that. I usually used Wikipedia for what they have. They have a lot that they help produce, but like the main ones, I think, was... I'd have to check, actually, now that I'm in the middle of this. This is probably really bad that I'm going to be putting this on YouTube as a video, but I kind of want to see exactly what they've been... Yeah, as far as North Anime licenses are concerned, okay, Etotama, Sound Euphonium, Yuki Yuna as a hero. Of course, you got Roka and others as well, but like you're looking at 8 total licenses right now. So, and PonyCan was set to be something in America, so especially when I'm considering getting rid of like Crunchyroll and Hulu and stuff like that, it's probably good to have something like that sitting in there. I think there might be one more. Yep, I just called it Ring of Gonzo. I didn't think of anything else, really. This is for the Gonzo Productions, which I think it's been around for a while. I don't know why I'm checking my phone. I should really check this just like on stream real quick so you can kind of see. But like, I just remember Gonzo having a fair amount of shows to their name. Yeah, they have quite a few shows, so it's gonna have a lot of good ones. Like you got Hellsing, you got Full Metal Panic, Desert Punk's gonna be. You know, I got some Desert Punk stuff in there. Welcome to the NHK. Rosario Vampire. The thing that really made me remember it was Sorry Ga Seiyu, or Seiyu's Life. That was the thing that made me remember. It's like, you know what? I think Gonzo's got some labels to him. So those are the ones I've made so far. I think there might be a few that I'm missing. I think there might be a few promotions that I was looking at, because like I said, I was thinking about taking out some of the streaming sites that are going to have everything, and that might drill down the amount of promotions that one specific person's going to be working for. So I may find more, like I want to do a Sentai Filmworks one, because I want something more in America that's going to better encompass like promotions, rather than just Crunchyroll or Hulu or Netflix, something like that. So those are the companies that I've had so far. They were the only company doing 3D animation for a long while. Gonzo used to be amazing. Interesting. See, that's not a huge thing that I know about particularly. Not too much to look at in the form of like bodies. I don't know if I've done that yet, but this one's been a little weird, because as you can see here in the bottom half, like they seem to be just fine. I started actually getting, if you can kind of see here, I started actually getting there's an actual background here to put them in front of, although it's very hard and very time consuming to find ping images. Now some of the big ones like fucking Asuna and like any of the Toradora ones, or Asuka, CC, any of those, like it's going to be easy enough to find just simple ping images that I can like Photoshop into there. But once you start getting into some of the other ones, like once you start getting into some of the lesser ones, like it's really, really hard to find some good ones. Like that was one of the issues that I was really falling into. Like Junko from Desert Punk. It may not look it, but I had to sort of like cut around her so that I could make it work to not make it look so bad. So, yeah, and then Kana from, Christ, what was it? Kodeo Shigoto. Obviously, it looks kind of bad too in comparison to the rest of them. So, like, when you get the popular characters, like, there's going to be easy ones, like Kirino and fucking, Konata, like those are going to be easy enough. But like I'm starting to realize once you start getting into some of the less popular ones, it's so much harder to find a simple ping image of them. So I may just leave it as is and then just continue doing what I had been doing, because it was far less time consuming to find certain people. Because when I was looking, this was Saki from Genshiken was the one that kind of made me stop, because it was damn near impossible to find something of her that like I could easily like Photoshop out. Like I could easily Photoshop out and throw her in. And like I started going to some of the other ones like Seraphim, and like anyone from Seto Kayako and Domo was pretty hard to find anything for. And then Taiko from Desert Punk as well, because Desert Punk is A, older, and B, not quite popular. It's really hard to find a decent ping image of hardly anything, so that's very difficult to do as well. So I may just leave that as it is. But yeah, I've got a bunch of them, and I figured it out. This one I might, yeah, as you can see, I started doing it here with the faces too. Like there's even a nice little background and stuff here. I started doing it with the faces, but once again, it's really hard it's hard enough to find one ping image. It's damn near impossible to find two. So there were some ones in here that I had to use the same image, or in some people's cases, I think it was in Kazari, like that particular face image is actually from like like a DeviantArt picture that I found that's actually like, if you found the rest of the picture with the rest of her body, she's like in a bathing suit with her ass sticking out. So it's like a fan fiction fucking picture. And that's what I had to kind of deal with, is some of these just didn't have good ping images, period. Like Kyoko from Is It a Zombie, I couldn't hardly find anything for. I couldn't do that. Like some of these, like I found pictures of them that just didn't quite fit them very well. And it's just one of those things where it was like, I think I'm just going to leave it alone and just keep doing it like this. keep it like this, because this looks fine enough. They all have their own nice little flavor. It looks kind of cool. Instead of having him look all uniform and shit, like it'd be nice to have like different colors and whatever coming off of them. So I'll keep it like that. How long have I been rambling in this video? I can't even tell at this point. So I'm just going to get to the thing that I'm most proud of, and that is making my own belts. I've only made 7 so far. This is the template I've been using. It's very hard for me to... I kind of accidentally threw away the Photoshop file that I did this for because I'm a dummy. So I kind of just have to keep this belt strap because I wanted to do like different belt straps with different colors and such. And I could probably do that, but it took me long enough to get this particular belt strap and have it look nice enough. And I'm just going to leave it the way it is. It is far too much work. So let's see. 4 Kids Fight. This was the belt here. This was just as you'll see, when I was doing a lot of these, you'll see that, I tried to incorporate maybe the animes that it would encompass. So for this, for like the center plate here, if you like, I'll include like normal little, like, I'll include like maybe some different designs or something like that that looks kind of interesting to kind of fill out the thing. Like you can see with the globe and the leaves here, like that's obviously not from an anime. I just wanted something that looked nice that filled out the belt, that made it look kind of cool. Because when you ever see the wrestling belts, like they don't look empty. There's always some sort of neat little design. So I wanted to fill out the belt as best as I could with certain designs. So you'll see designs that, like this tribal stuff that doesn't quite fit with it, but it kind of filled it out a little bit more. And then you'll see like in this particular instance, you'll see the One Piece logo. Of course, they decided to go with, like in decoration there, with the exclamation points, the Naruto logo. And if you zoom in enough, you can actually see that the side plates are actually the backs of goldenized backs of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. So that was something I was kind of proud of, that I decided to make the side plates Yu-Gi-Oh cards. So I thought that was kind of cool. This is probably one of the more ones that I'm most proud of, just because I kind of like, this is the first time that I was like trying out different belt styles and logos and adding new things and all that, and I thought it kind of came out pretty cool. So yeah, this is with the A1FC stuff. You can see stuff for like Valkyria Chronicles and Gate and SAO, and there's a lot of stuff that A1FC does, like that A1 does, that like I almost didn't fit the combat like thing of the belt, so I kind of left it out. I just kind of left it to just a few simple designs. So that's kind of how I did that. Like I said, I'm pretty proud of it. I'm proud of how it turned out, and I wanted to have stuff that didn't always just look gold. So Aniplex MMA was one as well. I don't think it has a lot of designs in it, if I remember right. It's a lot of kind of random-ish designs, but like the belt feels filled out. But like, I'm trying to see here. You can see faintly the Durarara logo right there. If you see coming out of the bumps and all that, you'll see the wings and the crown and stuff for Code Geass. Or yeah, I think it's pronounced Geass. Then I decided I found some like fighting clip art that I would put in randomly, and I have that there, but with the Charlotte thing there. So I decided to incorporate kind of a new anime with that. Adult Swim had their thing. I decided to make it look a little bit grungier than the rest of it because it's Adult Swim. Jesus, I think some more Code Geass logos in the back, as you can see there with the globe on top of it, because I didn't want to make anything look too like obvious. I wanted it to all kind of blend in. Side plates, I made X's. If you see the L's from Death Note, as well as the kanji logo that they had for Dead Man Wonderland, kind of smushed in, so it feels. So you can't quite immediately tell that it's Dead Man Wonderland, especially at a thing like that. But yeah, this was my very first attempt at making a belt, if you can tell. The Crunchyroll Combat League Championship. That's how I ended up making it look. Just very simple. Just my first attempt at making a belt, just to see if I could make a belt. No, I can't. I totally can't tell. Yeah, I didn't put a lot of thought into this, obviously. But yeah, just very simple, very whatever. Once again, Crunchyroll might not be one of the things that end up being in it, but yeah, I thought it was kind of cool. You can kind of see which ones I made early on, and then the ones that I made later. Like, you can kind of tell because of the thought processes that were put into some of these. Here's my absolute favorite one so far. For the longest time, A1FC was my favorite one. The AniMMA Global Championship is probably my new favorite one, just because of the way it all looks. So, yeah, I ended up having the AniMMA logo kind of in the middle there. Decided not to put like a name or anything like AniMMA Global on top here. Just put the logo and then champion. And it might look decently obvious with some of these, but I decided to put in black. You have the it's a whole bunch of mess in here, but it is Gurren Lagann and Gurren Lagann, the three main mechs from Gurren Lagann, as well as the three mechs from Evangelion, Ava's 1, 2, and 3, and you have that on the side plate there as well with Ava's 1, like I think it's like 1, 2, or 0, 1, and 2. Sorry, not 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2. I forgot how the stupid naming on that went. So yeah, that's how I ended up making the plates on there, as well as Gurren Lagann's also in there as well. So I'm kind of proud of that one. I even found a nice little clip art banner thing that made it look kind of cool. I think I got like one more. Yeah, one more. The KyoAni Championship. This is the first time I decided. This was the second belt I made after the Crunchyroll one, where I'm like, you know what? I bet you I could start incorporating some logos in. You know, just kind of have the side plates can kind of fill out with some logos from shows that are actually there. So I decided to take some liberties with that. So you just see like a fighting clip art, but if you look hard enough, you can see here with the cup rising out of the steam, the After School Tea Time logo. You can see the little stars and stuff there from Clan Ed After Story were put in there. And then on the very, very side plates, you probably barely able to see it too much besides the Lucky Star logo. I kind of figured I was going to keep the Lucky Star logo kind of as is, but just fade it in, because it's like, if I decided to try to make it gold, it wasn't going to look like the Lucky Star logo. And then the silhouette of Haruhi Suzumiya doing her salute thing. And then I added in one more Haruhi Suzumiya reference behind this. As you can see, it's a golden, like a scratched golden version of the SOS Brigade logo in the back there. So those are the belts that I've made so far. Some of these are kind of some of these I'm kind of proud of, because it's like, hey, I made something kind of cool. But those are the belts so far. That's how far in I've gotten. I haven't gotten too far. I've been focusing on a bunch of other stuff, because I usually don't do this too much. Like, I did all the belts and stuff and the logos outside of work. Usually when I'm when I'm at work, if I have some free time, that's when I'm working on like the database and stuff, which I think has like I said, it's like well over 500 people, I think, at this point. I'd have to check, but yeah, that was one bit that I was doing there. I just have to put them in the game. But even then, like, I'm looking at like decently popular shows, and I'm like, wow, I can't leave that one out, obviously. And then the fact that the longer I keep going, the more shows are going to be coming out, and then there's going to be even more people I'm going to have to put in there. Like, I think I don't have anyone from Origairu even in a database yet, so that's going to have to change. And then, like, hell, a lot of the shows from this season are going to have a lot of different ones. Obviously, I'm going to have to put them in. That's going to lead to me wondering, like, where the line is on who I'm going to put in here, because as I'm realizing some of the people that I have put in here, yeah, I don't have to put everything in. I realize that some of the people that I've put in there may or may not either A, be alive, or B, be able to, like, walk. Because I think there was like a couple of them where I'm sitting there and I'm reading their profile as I'm trying to fill out shit, and it's like, and then she was confined to a wheelchair. I'm like, fuck. Do I put her in, or... Yeah. So yeah, dude, I'm gonna have to put a whole bunch in just from this season alone. That's the thing, is there's like kind of spirit, there's regular girls, like there's regular humans, there's sometimes some like godly like spirits, like there are some people who take normal human form, but hey, they're kind of like from another universe or something, and I put them in there as well. Because it's like, okay, they're still taking decently normal human form. Why not? So put them in. I think at the very least, especially when it comes to the main reason I say this is it becomes to Monster Musume. Monster Musume is the big one where I'm sitting here and I feel like I have to find some way to put them in there, like maybe as commentary or something. Like I feel like I have to have them in there somewhere, even if they're like maybe like a trainer or something, but like it would seem unfair to try to put fucking almost any of the monster girls in the game to try to fight, because it's just not going to feel realistic. I don't know, maybe I might be able to have it work, but I feel like having Soraya in there with, like, anybody is like, come on, she's a horse. Like, I want to put her in with someone else who's around, like, her weight, because she would probably be at, like, featherweight or something like that, despite the fact that she'd be much heavier. But, yeah, just have someone be like, dude, she's a horse. What's going on? So, yeah, there's going to be some ones that I'm probably going to have to, like Nick's not being in there, and yeah, I'll have to figure that all out. Let me end the video here, because it's already gotta rename all them heel hooks to hoof hooks. God damn it. So yeah, I should really end this, because God, I've been rambling for probably way too long in this video, but I wanted to make just an update video pretty much on how much I've done, which probably looks like next to nothing, because as I'm finding out kind of the hard way, it's very time consuming to make a mod, especially when you're doing it from scratch. Even if you have the people and you're just doing the very basics, it's still very, very time consuming, as I'm finding out. But yeah, I'm still working on it, so I'll have this video up just to kind of prove that, hey, I haven't completely forgotten about this. I'm still doing some stuff, but yeah, I don't know when I'll have this done in time for fucking World of Mixed Martial Arts 5. I think that's how this is going to turn out. I think that's how this is going to end up. I'm going to have this done just in time for World of Mixed Martial Arts 5, when this entire database is completely irrelevant. It's like, well, now you have to redo some shit. Like, great. But yeah, I'm taking some liberties with other certain stuff. Broadcasters, I think I might change that to, because look at all those broadcasters, man. I might change them to ones that actually air anime. That may be where I start putting some, like, that may be where I put like Netflix or Hulu or something like that, because I don't know if they have that in here or not. No, but that may be where I put like the streaming sites, like, oh, look at this promotion is on Crunchyroll or something like that, and then I'll add in, maybe some like if you have Adult Swim, like they would be doing a show on Cartoon Network, so like Cartoon Network would probably be on here, which is really weird for an MMA promotion to have to be doing their shit on Cartoon Network, but hey. Or like 4Kids would be on Fox or something like that, which I guess isn't out of the realm of possibility anymore now that UFC's on Fox. But still, yeah, I'm going to end this. So people who watch this and are interested in it, just kind of giving you a showing that I'm still sort of working on it. I think it was brought up to me to try to have people help me on this, and I kind of realized I don't know if there's A, people who feel like they're going to want to help me on this, and B, I don't know if they're going to want to do it the same way I do it, because I base it mostly off popularity. So so ones where it's like, well, she's actually a really good fighter, she's a big warrior from, well, yeah, but she was in a show that didn't do crap, and she's not even the main character, so we can't have her higher rated. Fuck you, man. Like, that's not something I want to have to deal with. So I'm trying to be as objective as possible, because I got a lot of favorites that are going to be rated decently low because it wasn't a superbly popular show and they weren't like superbly popular characters, where I'm just sitting here going, God damn, why can't they be a more popular character? But yeah, they're gonna be like way down below, and it's gonna suck. And it's like, but they can actually fight. Like, so that's just how I do it. Just as long as I have something steady that does that. So yeah, the people who watch this, thanks. I might do a little bit more of maybe some anime studio story for a little bit longer. Why not? I got time. So yeah, thanks.